Hey guys, how you doing? It's me, Kelly, and we're going to do our art journal page today. And today I'm going to use Crayola watercolor paints for those who don't have a lot of money. And I'm going to use some markers. You can use any kind of markers that you want. I think I might use my what are they called? Faber-Castell Big Brush. I love them, love them, love them. I have a whole bag of them. And Blitzy, which I love, just had a big sale on packages I couldn't find, so I finally got them in. So I'm very excited about that. However, you can use watercolor pencils. You can use watercolor crayons. There is a video on Angie's art channel, and I'll link it below, where she uses the, I've shown them quite a few times on here, the Reeves wax crayons that you can use. That's my husband's business phone. And she does a video. I've showed them before. I've not showed them fully with me doing a project, and she does. So I'm gonna put that in the link in the subject below, so y'all can go check out those. They're very inexpensive with a coupon at Michael's, Joann's, or AC Moore, and I like them. I use them a little differently than than Angie does. But she does a real good demo on them, and a great drawing. So I would, I'd suggest, if you can't afford Neo colors and things like that, that are more expensive, then to do that. Okay, I'm done blabbering. I'm trying to keep my mind on track. I'm having a bad day. So I thought today we will do something kind of Christmassy and simplistic. And this is a page. So what? I threw some white paint down on here just to kind of do a faux gesso. This is a page I wiped extra ink on, and I don't have any, I don't know what the heck I did with my scrap papers that I put in there, but I'm just going to rip out of this notebook to protect the next page the best I can. And remember, this is our first one that we did. Now we're going to go on to this one. And I had just thrown on all the extra paint and stuff that I had. I was doing another project, and so that's where that came from. So that's basically gessoed. I taped the middle like I like to do, and then I put the white paint on that, and then this. So first we're going to draw a snowman. And you can do this several different ways. I'm hoping my paint is all the way dry, because I have no patience. And we're just going to draw. And we're going to do a snow, like a winter theme. And, do I want to make him 3? You can do the snowman whatever way you want. Maybe I'll just do him like that. And then, what do I want to do? Maybe give him like a scarf. And maybe I'll take this off. I should bring it down a little bit because I'm kind of stuck out. 1 second. Okay. Yeah, let's do it like that. And then I'll move over like that. I have to get a new light for in here because it's dark. And normally I'm like, I love being in the dark, but not when I'm trying to record and color and paint and do everything. So I'm just giving him his little scarf and then erasing off my little circle. And giving him his other part of his scarf down there, because it's like, kind of fancy. I don't know if it's that fancy, but then I'll just give him a little like knot kind of thing here, and that'll be his scarf. Okay, and then I'm gonna go up and I'm gonna give him his little head. Hello, little head. And why I'm drawing this in pencil right now and everything is because I didn't know what kind of, I want to keep this white inside, and I'm going to go in and color with white, but I wanted to make sure that, I don't like do a background, like paint my background or do whatever, and then have, to paint white over color, if that makes sense. If it's coming from my mouth today, it might not be making sense. And then I'm going to do a little hat. We'll start his little hat down here, make him have a point, and then we'll bring some of that fuzzy hat here, and then take off some of his, and then fix his little pointed dunce cap that I made. The heck is that? Tell you, the worse my hands get, the harder it is to draw. This really sucks. Okay. I might just break down and cry today, so we'll just see. And then we'll do this little ball right there on top of his little hat. And I'm just using a regular number 2 pencil, the one I curse about all the time. I'm going to give him stick for hands. Just do a stick like that. And we'll go over that with darker things later. We'll give him his 3 little buttons. And I hate that hat. I hate that freaking hat. What the hell? I'll tell you, some days. Some days. Let's see if that does a little bit better for me. Now the eyes and nose can be whatever you want. You can make them round and then color them in like a button, and then do his carrot nose, and then you can do little round circles, or you can do dots. I'll make her smile a little bit. You know, we're just making a little snowman, little cute little snowman. And like I said, you can just do dots if you don't want to paint the eyes in. We'll go over the, when we get closer, we'll do that. Over here, I want to draw. I might have to do it in marker, so I might wait and do over here. So let me grab my brush. And I already sprayed my watercolors like I do. I'm going to go in for some light blue. And again, you can use this with any paint, anything you want. And remember, our paper underneath just protects. And the white that I put down for my gesso is my lower, is my base coat, so that'll help the watercolor not run in. And we're gonna kind of do a sky around them. And I'm gonna start off with the lightest color blue. If your watercolor starts drying out and needs Crayola, just wet your brush a little bit more. But I'm kind of going to go around him. And I don't care if I have to put green over, but I do want to go around him somewhat. Now I'll have to get my smaller brush to go and do more. Now what would be really cool at this point, and I don't have any in here, is to take some salt. And any kind of salt, like if you have sea salt or I'm trying to thought. I'm telling you, it is a day today. I can just go over those because I can go over with the marker. If you have sea salt, if you have any kind of salt, and you go in with your watercolor like I just did, and I'm going to go in with a little darker blue up here and kind of blend it in. Now this is supposed to be 2 of the same pages, but it might, like 2 pages that go together, but it might not be. It might just be 2 pages that I do. We shall see. Where if you're doing it, because I already had this done, it might be easier for you to do this all over both pages. Anyway, my point was, if you put your salt down right now is it's really wet like this, and leave it sit until it dries, and then dust the salt off. You get a really cool effect. And the thicker the salt, the better. So now I can go in with my watercolor pencils and get closer to the snowman if I want to. But I'm going to leave it like that. I'm just going to take my rag and just mop up. Remember, we're using our journal that we made, so the paper's a little thinner unless you use your watercolor paper. And again, you can use acrylic paints and do the same thing. I water them down. I do it. And I'll go in later and touch up around. Just kind of add your texture. Now let's see what we could do over here on this side. While that is drying, I'm going to add a funky tree. Don't know if you're going to be able to see that on camera, so let me try a marker. And let's draw our funky tree. And what it's going to be is we're going to do a triangle on top. So it's kind of gonna go like that, go out like this, and come and kind of have a little ledge. It's going to be a whimsical one, trust me. It's a little fat, it's all right. And then go down, start in the middle a little bit, go out, bring it in, and bring it up. And then for the last one, and you can make this go a little like crooked if you want, and kind of go like this, give him his little boopy, and then bring it in here. We'll start here, and then bring it in here. No problem. And then give him a really cool tree trunk. And then he goes into the grass, into the blue watercolor that I put there. Now, this is a bit too thick for me. So what I'll do is, I don't know if this is water soluble ink, but it is, because I didn't heat set it. So I'm going to take that off with my water. You see how it just comes off? So when you make a mistake, you can kind of just do your thing, get it off. Because I want it to be I want it to be whimsical, and I'm not worried too much. It's just going to be over here. I'm going to fix this up there, and then here. I'm going to bring this with a tip and then bring it down to make it a little thinner. So see how that looks a little bit better? And all it is really you do your, your thing, and you do your own way. You do it your own way. I know if I add circles in here, it's going to be it's going to water down, so I'll wait. Then in here, I'm going to add some black lines, and then I'll paint in between, maybe a red or marker in between, rather a red or something like that. Now you can make it have a bucket if you want, or a cool like planter or something like that. I don't know what I'm going to put there yet, but now that's dry. It's showing up a little bit more. Okay. So now I'm going to go in. I don't know if this thing works right here. And I'm going to trace with my black marker. Try to use like a Sharpie or something that's water resistant. If not, use your watercolor crayons or watercolor pencils or colored pencils. You can do this with crayons. The point is you're sitting and creating. And we're just doing a basic begin. This is the second one in our in our art journal. And as we go on, we're going to add mixed media in it and do more with stencils and stamps and whatnot. So this one doesn't like to write over paint when it's wet. And always wipe your tips off, because that'll save you with your markers, so it doesn't sit on there. And you can do these brown because they're supposed to be branches, but I just like doing everything kind of dark so you guys can see it better on the camera. You know, I'll color his little color. Do I want to make that? Maybe we'll do it red and do a red hat. We'll do his little eyes. His little... All right. And then I think over here, what do we want to write? What do we want to do? You see, I'm so make this a little thicker. Getting quiet because I have to color in circles, otherwise they end up everywhere. But you know what's cute too is when you color in and it's like outside, like it's kind of like that folky kind of thing on the outside. I have to get white paint on there with a small brush. Let's try this brush. And I'm just going to dip it in my Crayola white. It needs another spray. That stuff soaks up the water like crazy. And again, you can use your pencils for this. You don't have to use the Crayola watercolors. You can use whatever watercolors you have. You can use your watercolor pencils, crayons, whatever you have. Acrylic paints, all markers, all whatever. It is totally up to you. And I'll erase my pencil lines after. Just want to kind of get a coat of the white on because some of the background's coming through and I don't care because it was I think it was a cardstock page or something. I just want to get this blue off its face. It's amazing you have ideas when you lay in bed, and then when you come up to do them, I forget everything. I'm like, oh yeah, we'll do this, and it'll be easy, and we'll do that. And my brain's not working today, and I'm having a bad day. But this is simple enough, like I said, for you to sit down with the kids and do. Plus you learn. I mean, you know what I mean? You're learning how to do things. Now I'm going to make his little hat red. So I'm going to go into my red. And you can use your markers. You can use your watercolor pencils again. And sometimes in these smaller areas, especially if you have problems with your hands like me, with the RA or fibro or the million other things you can have, you know, you can use a marker's better, you know, easier when you're using the smaller thing like a marker or something like that. And then I'm going to make his little scarf red. By the way, I have no plan. I just want to do a snowman in the tree. So we shall see what we end up with. It really sucks. I was watching, I don't mean this in a bad way. Maybe you guys can relate, but I was watching Angie's art channel and watching her do her stuff and some of her art. And I don't know if she has problems with her hands or not. But a few years ago, before my son passed, gosh, I was like cranking out them paintings and commissions and making good money and doing all that kind of stuff. And you don't realize, like, over the years how, like, this shit affects you. And you can tell I'm having a hard time, but like watching other people do it, sometimes I get so depressed. And that's why I love doing these simple things like this, because even though this isn't, I mean, we're going art journal, we're going to move up. And like I said, this is our second, we're actually doing something on here, and you can do whatever you want. I'm just always show you an idea and then you guys run with it. But I do get frustrated sometimes watching other people, and not out of jealousy. It's just out of frustration for myself, because my hands just don't want to work like that anymore. But it doesn't make me want to stop doing what I do. Like, does that make sense? Because I love it. I just got to accept it, that this is just the way it is. And I know she suffers from lupus and whatnot, so I'm sure she battles a lot. Maybe of her own demons, maybe not. I don't know. It does get frustrating, though, sometimes. And these little things that I do like this make it better for me. I don't know. I enjoy doing these things with you guys and stuff like that, because it makes me feel good, All right, grab your orange marker or paint. I'm going to color it in, and then I'm going to trace it in the black, because I have to go over my black. Now, I'm going to let that sit and dry for a few minutes. I got to decide what I'm going to do that hat. If I'm going to do that hat, I don't want to do it white. I didn't want to do the rim white. I didn't want to do wine. Could use some wine. I'm just going to outline it. Go over them eyes and the little dots. Just for hell's sake. All right, now let's do the tree. I wonder if my greens will go over this blue. No, I'm going to have to probably paint some white over it. So I'm going to take my white acrylic paint, which apparently I did not rinse my brush well enough, but I don't care, because I just want a bottom base coat. It's a dark color. Should have changed pages. Probably be better to use acrylic paint on this to cover it up, or gesso. But it'll get the color, to lighten that color a little bit. So I'm not worrying too much about the black lines, because I will be going back over the black lines, drawing over them. I just do it for a reference kind of thing. Does that make sense? Spray some more white. just going to let this dry. And move back to the snowman while this dries. So then I can go back. So what are we going to do with the snowman? What kind of scene? I don't know how the heck I got glitter in there, but there must be glitter in my water. What color do I want to do this little hat? If I whine, will that change it? Oh, maybe I'll, no, I don't want to do blue. La 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 la. I'm such a sucker for neon green. Let's see what this does. Because we could put polka dots in it. Matter of fact, I'm probably going to put polka dots on this. Now see, I didn't heat set my black. So it's kind of like coming in with my, even if pens or markers are, or ink pads are water, like they're safe for using water and stamp, you must make sure the ink is dry, because if you stamp and then you go on to color and the ink isn't all the way dry, and that means like all the way through the paper, it'll smear no matter what, and then you'll think, what happened? And I do it all the time because I don't have patience, and sometimes getting off the heat gun and blowing, I don't feel like doing. But since I got it right here, I might as well. But that's just a little tip so you know, because I know a lot of people will say, I used Adirondack inks and made a stamp and went to color with my watercolor pencils and it smeared. And you kind of have to, like I said, that water, you're better if you gesso your pages, but that it soaks in and it won't until it's completely dry. It's very bizarre, but it's just the way of the world. The way of the world. As we all know. I'm just going to go over this one more time. And I'm kind of liking the way the watercolor dried, because it's kind of like good look. Like it'll look great when I put in like polka dots and stuff. And I'll lift up and show you in a minute, because I know my camera's biting balls lately. I don't know if it's just getting old or I need another light in here, I think is what the problem is. Let's see. That's that, and that's our tree so far. So I'm going to go in with my little brush. I'm going to rinse it good this time rather than what I did before. Wipe it off. Go into my red, my darker red. Should have used a smaller brush, and I'm going to go in and just drop some red in between. No, it'd be nice if I was on camera. In between the black lines. Now you can use your marker for this too, no problem. Your red marker or watercolor pencils. Once that's dry, I'm gonna go over with the black. And then I'm just gonna hit these up one more time, because I'm gonna go around them one more time. I like this, kind of like a tie-dye kind of look going on, because it's over that wax, or that white background rather. Pretty cool. Okay. Now I see I need a little bit more blue. I'm going to dry off my brush there. A little bit more of the blue. around here. Where else did I see that? I'll just let it soak in a little bit and then I'll just wipe it. Because I want it to kind of be a little dark as a shadow where he sits. But I love the way the watercolor gives it that very snowy look. And I have glitter mixed in here. Like I said, it must have been in my water and I can see it and it's really cool. So that might be something you want to do, is throw some glitter on here. Like I said, if you throw that salt on there to soak up that water, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, let me know and I'll do a demo on it. That would look awesome on here. And if I was smart and thought about that a minute before I sat down, wouldn't we all be just joyous? I'm just kind of outlining them a little bit. I already have them outlined in the black, but you know, as watercolor does, it dries much lighter than you put it on. I just want it to be a little bit around him. He deserves to have a little bit of brightness. All right, now with my tree over here, I'm going to color the bottom one in dark green, but as I color it in, I'm going to leave balls, if that makes sense. So I'm going to do like a ball here, and a ball here, and a ball here. Can you see? And a ball here, and a ball here. And then I'm going to go in and color with my marker. Any kind of marker will work. Just know if you're using watercolor, you know, markers that are watercolor. That's why I always say Sharpies or Bics are good, because if you can't afford Copics or Copics or whatever the hell they're called, Bics and Sharpies do the same thing. They're all alcohol based. And you can use them the same exact way. And blend them and everything else. So that's something good to know. So then I'll paint those in. I'll color those in a different color later. And I'm just going to kind of follow down, and I will redo the black, but just so it's colored. And while it's still wet, if I want, like, I can put my pencil in here and kind of mark out, my eraser rather, and mark out if I say, oh, I want another ball there. Do you know what I mean? And then we know we can paint there, and then we have another ball. So that's always exciting. That's a little trick for y'all. And now I'm going to take red, like a red. This would be like the greatest magenta. This is magenta. Oh, I'd like to smear this on my lips as lipstick. And I'm going to do some hearts and color them in. And if you don't want to color them in, but you have little heart stickers, that'll work. You could just color the background and put the stickers on top. Same with the balls. Or you could do this backwards and do the, you know, color in the balls and then, I mean, whatever way you want to do it. I want the tree to coordinate, so I might do the balls with this color, if that makes sense. We're just going to go in like that. I'm going to hit them up with glitter, so don't despair. And then I'm going to go with some orange. And mind my hearts so they stay on there. I'm sure you guys will have way better ones than I. I might even trace these hearts in black to make them stand out from the orange. I must have, gosh knows what I put on this paper. Whatever, I might have something on here that's making, because this is like a resist almost. So I don't know. Maybe I had some like glossy Mod Podge or something, and I also had it mixed in. Who the heck knows? Because it's not coloring as well as I want it. But that's okay, because we're still going to get the whole effect. And like I said, you can use your, I might even go over that with watercolor, who knows. But there's that. And then like I said, I'm going to trace that in black. And then the top, I'm going to put another green, but I want different. Ooh, stars would be hard. Maybe I'll just, that's going to be a rough one, but let's see. Yeah, it must be some kind of glue because I can see it bubble here. So I'm just going to do a few stars, color them in. Can you see? All I do is draw out a star and then kind of color it in the middle. And you get the point that it's a star. Point, get it? Point on the star. Okay. She's on a roll, people. On a roll. Okay, and then if you see, you know, if you want to add something else in here or circles or more stars or whatever, be my guest. And then I'm going to go over that with green again. So. Now look how nice that's drawing down here. Can you see? And even this over here, the snowman, just like it illuminates it a little bit. And I'm going to take my green. Be careful. Yeah, something the heck was on there. I know, it's a mystery. Now, this green's a little dark for this. I should have used my lighter green. But we'll fix it. And you just go around. Your stars. And if they don't look like stars because you're coloring and you're, you know, you can't get it in between all those stars, I'll show you what we could do to fix it. Not worrying about it. Can you, I don't know if you can see that bubbled up. It's bubbled up a lot. I don't know what the heck it is. Wow. Alright, so we got that. So let's give that a thing with the heat gun just to kind of set it. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take our black marker, whatever marker you have, and go back in and trace your tree. Or you can use your paint. Yeah, something's on this paper because it's really, there you go. And just trace it so you get that more of an outline. Especially up here. Because it's not popping like I want it. And you want that line in between. It's just not covering for me and I don't know why. Okay. And then go in over your black right here in between. Just so it kind of looks cool. And do like that. And then what we can do over here is add some glitter on all these stars. Any kind of glitter you have, just put them, we can just pretend like they're little dots. And then nobody knows that it was a messed up star that I did. And we can trace around. wonder if my marker, my thing will work here, my pen. No. Oh, excuse me. I'll just go around. I'd probably use, if you're having the same problems, which I doubt you are, but when your marker's not working over paint, never had this problem before. I feel like kind of a loser. Loser. But anyway, you trace them. Very nice. Wipe off your pen that obviously isn't working very well. And then I'm done. That's the kind of tree. So you can coordinate these two together so that they are on one page, say. So if we folded this and put it right there, then we would have a nice little painting. If I would have done it all in one piece. I didn't. So he needs something in his sky. So I'm going to go back and just kind of do a little. And have it go this way. And all I'm going to do is just color it in. Leave some balls. We'll just do like a string like that, and then I'll color the rest in, and then I'll color the balls in. Just so you can see it better on this page where it's accepting the pen, the marker more, because the other side just was not having it. And then the orange over here. That's right, you fall. That's good. And you could do a couple hearts if you want. And then color in the rest. Or don't put hearts in, whatever your little heart desires. Get it? I think the UPS guy lives at our house anymore. Because we do online shopping for the holiday. For the holiday. And then up here, I'm just going to, so I quit wasting your time, just color it in. I'm not going to worry about anything. I can just put the little glitters on there. And if you don't have glitter like in a bottle like I have, just take a toothpick with your white school glue and just dot it, you know what I mean, on here, and then sprinkle your glitter, and you are good to go, my man. Or my sister. We'll just put our little dots like this because it just adds a cool look to it. Put a big thing there. And then little hearts. And this color will even go over. I mean, you can see how different it is. And then I'll do the red down here too. Just because. But yeah, this page is much better. I should have just done it all on here. And then I'll go in and color like this. And then I'm going to color like this with some, we'll do some black in between. Whatever colors you want. And let's make a, let's see. We can make a pot. Not real cool. But that can be our pot. You saw all I did. Just draw down, down, around. Put a little bottom on it. And then that can be where he grows out of. And then you can decorate this whatever way you want. And then I want to put some dots on that hat. So I'm going to do some just little dots. And then with my dark fuchsia color, I'm going to do it in my, make it a little bit bigger, on my scarf. Gosh, how much better on this page. I feel like such a dumbass. I don't know why. I just didn't. But you're just giving them design. I like to add a bit of white. Well, this is ivory, but it'll do. Or it won't. It ain't going on there. I'll just use the paint. I just like to add a little bit of white in his eye to make him look a little sparkly. Touch up anything I see. And again, you paint that in whatever colors that you want. Maybe since this is blue, I'll do use my blue marker and do a dark blue. Like I said, I'm not being perfect. I'm just trying to show you because it's getting long with me blabbing and doing this. And then use a lighter blue on the top, which is really like our background color, a little bit darker. You can hear my dogs outside. They must have just been left out. Such joy when they are left out and the neighbors taunt them. They're little kids. Taunt my dogs. Now on here I can see like when I put that white paint, I must have had like a piece of dry white paint on there, so that kind of took over that. And again, you just kind of play around. So we add that, and then if you want to add some yellow for the moon. It's amazing how dry these paints are when you spray them. Now I saw the Frugal Crafter. She said add glycerin to it, like a drop to like these cheaper watercolors, and that they turn like into like a more open and smoother paint. So I'm on the hunt for some glycerin, and I know a lot of you watch the Frugal Crafter, so I don't know how much it is, but I'm gonna find out. A little darker yellow. God, I'm on the ball today. I'm off camera. And that's it. Very, very cute. Very nothing, you know, but we've done two different things here. Like I said, we've done, and this is my fault because it was on a darker page. And let me open the door for my poor dog in here. Come on, you want to go out? Come on. You want to go? You go pee? No? Nope, he just wants to guard his food. Okay. So as you can see, and I'll hold it up. Oh, no, my dogs are gonna come in. You know, this was my fault. It was a darker page. However, this is a very cool look. And it's a different look. this is much different, and as you can see, and I love glitter, so what I would do is I would probably glitter his body up so he looks like he has some snow on him. And that's all the glitter that's coming out of there right now. So I'll just take a small brush and hope there's no yellow left in it. And just kind of brush around just to give him that little sparkle of snow. And then you can do your snowflakes on here. And like I said, if you don't have stickles or glue in the, in the squeezy thing, just use your white school glue and sprinkle. I have more glue that isn't like in containers than I do you know what I mean? And that's how I do it. And I love it. And then just take your brush and, take it over to get like the rest of the glitter off. The glitter, if you have yellow glitter, put it on the moon. And like I said, this is just to show that you can, now we went from just writing on the page to now we have a Christmas page, and you can write with your marker, any marker that you want, or stamp it if you have a stamp or whatever you want. Holidays. I like to say that because then it kind of hits all barriers of everybody's religions and beliefs and what have you. And then you have this cute little page that took me forever to do because so like I said, so that's the tree we did. And plus I'm very scatterbrained today and very not feeling very well, but I like this page. I like this tree on this page because it is dark and I like it. And it would probably be cool to have something. I might draw something underneath there, like a darker something. But the lighter page that we just used the watercolors and things worked out much better. And as you see on this, how I did around, and you can see like some of the blue still, it didn't blend in. Just all you have to do is wet your brush and go back in because they're rewettable and just kind of blend it in the background a little bit more if you want. So it doesn't look so harsh around. It doesn't matter. But it depends on what your preference is. It doesn't matter to me, but that's what we got going. So I hope you enjoyed my ranting and raving and talking, but we got there. We got there. And that's what we did. Very simple, very fun, very easy. Like I said, if it wasn't for that little bad boy that just didn't turn out exactly what I wanted, because I wanted you to see, And I hope you guys do this and tag me like you always do. And next week we'll be painting in our art journal again. And I try to do it so you can use this you can do this with paint, you can do this with markers, you can do this with colored pencils, you can do this with crayons, you can do this with anything that you have. You don't have to, in any medium that you have. If you're sitting in bed, if you're sitting on the couch, if you're you can't get at your art journal, use your colored watercolor pencils, and then you can always paint it later to activate the watercolor, or use crayons or whatever, but you're working in your art journal, and if you're doing this along with me, you have 2 pages done. So I think that's great. So next we'll move a little bit further by adding maybe a stencils or stamps or something like that, make it a little bit more mixed media. So I will see you next time, and I hope you enjoyed this, and please be kind to each other. You never know what battle somebody else is fighting. Thank you for hanging in. This was wicked long, and I doubt I'll probably get any views on it, but because it's kind of long. Jesus. And I will talk to you guys later. Thanks a lot. Bye.